These are the daily programs and daily planners for MSC Meraviglia's first round of sailings to the Bermuda from Brooklyn Cruise Port Terminal in New York City. Hello everyone, my name is Fatima Mahmood. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In this disembarkation video, I'm going to share information in what seems like a reverse order. I'll first start off with showing you the actual disembarkation paper notification and luggage tags. Then I'll show you how it's delivered to the room, which is different than in previous cruises on MSC. Then I'll show you the information in the app before disembarkation day and on disembarkation day. And then I'll finish with the first ever time that I've experienced it, a disembarkation talk during the last day, the sea day, given by the cruise director. Walking you through some disembarkation information, MSC Meraviglia, which I've done before on the same ship. This is the New York to Bermuda route. Let's see if there are things that are changed. One of the first things I'll notice, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is that these things were left outside on the door and not inside. Another thing that's new here is that they stapled it together. So we obviously don't have staple removers, so you have to manually unstaple this by hand to use them all. So this is the document that tells you what time you have to leave your packed luggage, your checked bags, outside of your door. This is 10 p.m. So you don't get this till like 2 o'clock on your sea day. So if you are just not in your room, you won't see this and you won't have made time for yourself to come back and pack all your stuff. By 10 p.m. again, you might miss out on some evening activities. And this is what tells you that you need to be out of your cabin by 7:30 a.m. on the morning of disembarkation. So without this, you won't really find out clearly and accurately this information. I've made a video about this before, but if you do express walk-off, you're carrying all your luggage with you. Please don't do that and then take all your luggage to the buffet or the sit-down breakfast place. That just creates a lot of problems for the staff, makes more work for them because they have to move your luggage around to make entry room for other guests who are coming in. Sometimes you are in a later group and you want to get off early and they are not announcing it early. Again, if they can let people off early, they will, and they'll announce it clearly. It'll be the cruise director making those announcements that can be heard up throughout the whole ship. If you're a person and you try to sneak into an early group, if the ship is full, the security is going to be on point, and security is going to check your card, and they're going to check with the proper group, and you might not be able to sneak out early. I've been able to sneak out early when it was COVID. It was very low numbers, and it wasn't a big deal. But just know, if you try to get out before they call you, try to get out much earlier, it may not work, and after you've waited in a line for a bit, they may send you back and make you wait more. So just keep that in mind. So today is Friday, September 22. We just left King's Wharf, Bermuda. We have one sea day before we arrive on New York. The day before disembarkation day, you are at least told what time, based on your cabin number, you get to leave the ship. They tell you when breakfast is. They give you your luggage tags. That's how it was in Meraviglia. For Seascape, we got it 2 nights before. Tomorrow's a sea day, and when people wake up, they won't know by what time they have to pack up the luggage and put it outside their door. I thought that should at least be told to them at the beginning of the sea day, because if they have a lot of things planned, they don't go back to their room by 4 o'clock. I called guest services around 4 o'clock or so, or after that, thereafter. That is when people will get their paper notifications and be told what time. So unless people are checking the app that tells them what time to leave their bags out, people are going to be busy all day and they're going to be relaxing and they might miss the time. They should at least, I think, in my opinion, put it on the daily program planner that was given for the Saturday, but I didn't see it there. So last day of the cruise, sea day, it's well after lunch, probably close to 2 o'clock when I came back to my room, and the disembarkation information is hanging on the door with the luggage tags. Usually my past experience, they put it inside the room, but they stopped doing that. They're putting it outside the room, and this is what it'll tell you by what time you have to have your bags packed, and by what time tomorrow you have to vacate your cabin room, even if you get off later. You have to be out of your room. Unless you have a special status in the Voyagers Club, you have to be out of your room by a certain time. And you have to wait with your stuff, your hand luggage, in different parts of the ship. If you don't know and you haven't received the paper telling you what time to drop off your luggage or pack up your luggage, leave it outside your door for disembarkation day, and what time your group is going to go. First, you have to go your profile, cruise, my cruise F&B packages. This tells you your duration. Then it tells you, so it's under my cruise, travel info, disembarkation day. My approximate meeting time is 9:35. I'm coming out of the Broadway Theater. Also, if you're in my app, you go to useful information, and then they have cruise info and procedures. Go to cruise procedures. Then you go to disembarkation. So the luggage disembarkation, it tells you about the tagging, and then leaving your luggage section tells you by 10 p.m. at the latest. And again, this is consistent on Meraviglia, but on Seascape it was like by 9. So it varies from ship to ship. So this is how you find your disembarkation information if you don't receive the paper 2 nights before, or if you're out and about busy on the last day and you don't have time to check your room for the paper information. You can use your app in this way. So here is this disembarkation day on my MSC app. Sorry, so zoom in. So if you scroll down, then it'll tell you disembarkation information. So right now it says 7 a.m. So that's not clear what that means. So you gotta click. Okay. So it tells me, this is specific to me, that I'm getting off at 9:35 at the Broadway Theater. These are all tentative. A few more details. It says I'm group number 20. These are the other cabins that go Broadway Theater. Approximate meeting time 9:35 cabin. So that's how you find out that information. If you go here and you're scrolling down, that takes you to the same thing. So then you go to luggage disembarkation. Tagging, you already know from my other videos, leave luggage. That is what tells you that you need to go put your luggage outside of your room, your checked luggage, by 10 p.m. But I'm not seeing anything that tells you you have to be out of your room by a certain time. Let's see what next is. Hand luggage. So the paper doesn't talk about hand luggage, courtesy luggage holding while you're at breakfast. So this is very confusing. This ends up creating more work for the staff. So it's inconsiderate that management hasn't made it more clear specifically on the paper if they do hand luggage or not. Otherwise, it becomes a burden on the buffet staff and the breakfast sit-down staff, because people just leave all their bags and trolleys and Pullmans outside the door for the sit-down restaurant, and then someone on staff has to move them around so there's enough space for people to get into the breakfast place and leave. I've done a video on that. So please be considerate and don't bring too much hand luggage with you when you're going to breakfast. Don't leave it in other people's ways. Don't make it the job of a staff person whose job it's not to have to move your luggage around. This is the video on their app about luggage. So there you have it, MSC's own video of how to prepare for disembarkation. If you found this online and it wasn't one of my videos, like it's official, MSC posted it online, please send me the link below. That I would find that very helpful. Thank you. This is the daily planner for Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. This is the second sea day, the last sea day, and it's also the day before disembarkation day. So on the MSC Meraviglia, this is my first time on any MSC ship seeing this in person. At 4:45 p.m. on the day before disembarkation day, there was a disembarkation talk with the cruise director, Carrie, in the Broadway theater. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Going to this disembarkation talk would be good for individuals who did not do any cruise procedure research beforehand or while on the ship, for people who were not proactively checking the app and checking disembarkation information, and for people who did not learn about disembarkation procedures from YouTube videos or blogs before or during the cruise, because everything that is covered very quickly in the slides by the director is content that is already written down. There's no real new content being shared with you compared to what's already out there. Here's one new procedural aspect that was new to me or presented in a new way. And in past videos, I've talked about how confusing this is with whether or not you get a paper invoice or paper bill from MSC in your cabin or not. Here it's very clear on the side that if you receive a paper bill or paper invoice in your cabin room, that means you have not settled your bill, you have not attached a credit card, you have a debit balance that you need to pay off. If you don't pay it off, you are not allowed to leave the ship. From this cruise, I really feel that MSC is emphasizing a lot about people attaching their credit cards to their cruise cards or attaching cash to their cruise card very quickly. Another potential benefit of going to this type of live talk is you get to say goodbye in person to the cruise director or talk to the cruise director directly if you wanted to, if you didn't have a chance to meet her earlier in the cruise. Her goal in the presentation is to go quickly through all the slides and verbally highlight information. All questions are saved for the end. She won't take any questions, at least that I saw. What she will do is at the end, there's about 4 other ambassadors or hostesses or people who are part of her team in the Broadway theater at the bottom and at the top. And if you have questions, you ask them directly. You might be able to ask her directly, but they just have people there present to answer disembarkation questions. If you are already well versed in disembarkation procedures or you read up on it, then you may not benefit a lot from this talk except to interact with the cruise director, but you may want to be doing other activities on the ship on the last day, so don't feel a need to go to this talk unless you have very specific reasons that aren't covered by material that's already in writing. Thank you for watching my video. I'd love to hear from you on email at fmahmood@wellesley.edu. You can also find me on LinkedIn at that address. And if you do send me a connection request, please go ahead and send me a note. Before you go, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And please go ahead and watch my next video. Thank you.